My name is Robb Fulks. I do know Regina from high school. We brought Kim in from Cinderblocks. I think we're going to have our class reunion here within 10 years. I presented on a patient panel last year with the ever elegant Ben Marion and the unsinkable Casey Quinlan. If there's anything that she ever taught me, that I ever learned from being on a panel with this woman, is that you cannot let propriety stand in the way of truth. So if I use some colorful imagery and language of an adult nature, it's because I am talking about government-funded health. That may lend to the word clusterfuck at times. Like any other good hero story that you've seen over the years, you have to retell the origin story at least once every time you speak, every time you see a movie. So you need to have some kind of bearing of where I came from. I grew up always being a patient. I have ichthyosis, which is a skin disease. Only around 200,000 people in the U.S. have it. It's very rare. My skin reproduces at about 3 to 5 times the rate that yours does. It will just kind of take off of me. If you look in my car right now, it looks like I smoked a bag of cocaine. It's a little difficult to deal with, but it's manageable. I'm also type 2 diabetic. I got diagnosed whenever I was at a dentist asking, why am I having all of my teeth removed at the age of 23? Might be diabetes, he said. You know what? He was right. I also deal with several other things. I have chronic allergies. If you'd like me to meet your dog, I would like to have your insurance card up front. It gets bad. I'm also HIV positive. Surprisingly, when I was diagnosed with HIV, that's when I was offered health care. Up until that point, 2009, I was born in 1973, I had been through the grinder of the employment insurance cycle. Do you need insurance? Are you sick? Well, you need a job. Do you need a job? Great, don't be sick. Right. If you can make it 90 days, we'll give you your pills. That's a carrot and stick federalism. It leads to feelings of powerlessness. It leads to feelings of inhumanity. And once you're in a system that's there to help you get out of that, quote, quote, you're going to find that you're not going to be able to get out of it. You're stuck. And that's where I've been since 2009. When I spoke here last time, I had a breakdown, is what happened. I started to say a couple of words, it turned into about 15,000 words. And I realized that maybe, if I looked at all of this differently, that I could get out of this. With community, with people. I could make myself feel better. I could make myself believe that I could. So I went back home. I went to my doctor's appointments. I wanted to participate in my health care. And within 3 appointments with my doctors, I learned to know my role and shut my mouth. Because that is where, in public health care, the patient belongs. At the other end of a billing for bills. That's my job. So what I want to do is illustrate for you, if I can, the need for communication, the need for empathy, and as always, the need for access to mental health care. Those things are paramount in all primary care. Farther down the societal scale you go, the more important those things are. Because unless you have something that you're going to live for, you are not going to try to live very hard. So first, communication. I am treated in the Reading healthcare system. It is basically one giant hospital. Everything goes in and out of this hospital. Very few things are referred out of the hospital. One big building, one computer system. No matter who I see, I have to give them a verbal recount of all of my bills every single time I see these people. They do not communicate with each other. They do not communicate at all. My first encounter with this system, I was diagnosed with HIV. I get my insurance, they bring me in. They basically have to take a cocktail. I told them my medical history. I told them I have epilepsy. So, yeah. They gave me a triplet, which is a wonderful antiretroviral. Does its job. Hasn't been a problem. Causes seizures. So my next encounter with this system is in the emergency room with a seizure. They told me they were really sorry about that, but they never gave me to account for the fact that I told you I had this. You know what the side effects are. Why didn't you tell me? Now, had St. Brockhart been there with me, he would have told me to Google this myself. Our patron saint. I should have done that. I should have been more active, but at that time I wasn't. As I went along through this journey, I started to try to see for myself exactly what was going on behind the curtain. To see who would talk with who, see how I could get things done. I had another bit of an incident. We like to call this the lab incident. Being who I am, I have a lot of lab work done. Got to get your blood tested. Got to get your numbers. Got to know how your test results are. We just got my chart, which is a patient portal. At least we have the one patient portal now. I found out really neat things about my history, about my test results. For instance, I am positive for miscellaneous. Jury's still out on vague. But for miscellaneous, positive. They explained that to me that they didn't want to reveal anything about my health records in the patient portal. God forbid I know that I have HIV. It might be a shock to me personally. As I'm getting these labs done, usually if there's something out of the ordinary, they'll give me a call. They're decently good about that. Hey, your blood sugars are a little high. Lay off the cake. Got it. I get a set of labs done. There are no phone calls in the expected time period. But I do get a phone call from Philadelphia. Second weird phone call from Philadelphia in this conference, if you notice. I go ahead and answer it, and I get a phone call from the lovely folks at the Hahnemann University Hospital. In Philadelphia, they specialize in things like liver transplants. They were here to set my appointment for my liver transplant consult. To which I responded, what in the truck are you talking about? I almost said truck. Correctly, I got myself. This scared the poop out of me. I have no idea what you're talking about. I need you to call my doctor. Just be safe, I need the appointment, I'm not gonna lie. Called my doctors. I said, we had a problem with the liver panel anywhere, because I checked my chart. Googled some things to see what exactly that liver panel would look like. Everything seemed fine. And they said, we're going to look into that. And I said, yeah, you better. Because I like my liver where it is. I want to keep it there. And I finally get a call back, maybe 4 days later, if not a week. A week, I'm thinking, liver stay or liver go. And I get a call from a director in that department, a director, in very hushed tones, telling me how very sorry they were, and that all of those records have been shredded. And would I please accept the apology? Now, I don't know a lawyer, so I went ahead and took that apology. And thank God I have a liver. But nobody called me to tell me what was going on. However, they were processing large amounts of people fast enough that you can make a mistake that big. I realize that I'm in a system where it's a numbers game. Process as many people as you can. Try not to poison them. It's kind of like running an Applebee's.
Applebee's doesn't kill 1,000 people.
Food's better at the hospital. However, patient focus is not something that you get in public health. They see far too many people. You cannot just put every bit of love you have into every big map you make. You have to take it impersonal. Every disease has a treatment. Every person has a list of diseases. Every person has a list of treatments. Notice I've got a few diseases. Asthma, allergies, epilepsy, HIV, ichthyosis, depression, and anxiety. That's a lot of balls to juggle. And it really is like juggling. But when you're asking your doctor, how do I juggle? And they look at you and they take each ball and go, well, 1, 2, 3, etc. And they say, well, I don't see what your problem is. I can do this just fine. Well, that's one ball. I've got a lot to keep in the air. These people see too many people to really have a relationship with me or any of their other patients. And it's really hard to feel that I'm worth anything when the people that I'm relating to don't feel that much about me today. Maybe I put too much on them. I realize it might be my fault. I have to have some self-actualization. But when you are in such a vulnerable position in front of someone, when you're laid naked, sometimes literally, in front of someone, and you're saying, please, help me, and they act so coldly and differently towards you, it takes away the humanity that you have left. And I didn't have that precious much to begin with when I came in. Whenever you grow up the way I did, with the abuse that I endured, the way I grew up, with the skin I had on, and you literally are not comfortable with the skin you're going to manifest that in your care. The way you treat yourself, the way your doctors treat you sometimes is reflected in that. It brings me to the mental health component of all primary care. And yes, it's a part of all primary care. If you can't treat all of me, please don't treat any of me. If I don't believe I can get well, I'm not going to get well. If you cannot help me heal from the inside out, I'm not going to heal from the outside in. If we don't have access to the things that will heal us from the inside, things are going to deteriorate from the outside very quickly. It's going to manifest in non-compliance. If anybody here an actual medical professional that treats diabetics? Diabetics either religiously take care of themselves and love taking care of themselves, or you know what? Cake is awesome. It's one or the other. Especially with me, type 2 diabetes, cake literally is a drug. I can get just stupid on ice cream. Often do. Now, if you have a heroin addiction, you're going to get treatment. You're going to get taken seriously. If you have a food addiction, you're going to realize there's a food channel on cable. You're going to realize the government will give you a card to buy even more food. Heroin addicts will kill for that kind of service. You're also not going to get taken seriously. You're going to get said, hey, lay off the cake. Which I say, no. That cake is my alcohol. That cake is my whiskey. That cake is my drug. How am I supposed to cure myself of that? when it is the last vice I have, when it is the thing that makes me feel better, but it's also going to kill me. It'll kill me faster than anything I've put on that list so far. Everything else, I can take a pill, I can navigate, I can pray for this. That one disease is going to kill me. It's because I can't take it seriously. I can't tell somebody I have a problem with this. You can't, with tears in your eyes, go to somebody that you love and say, please take these Twinkies away from me. There is no lifetime movie. So there should be. Now granted, I do have an option. Public health care, far and wide, has a very good inpatient psychiatric program. You may have heard of it. Prison.
I love it.
We giggle, we laugh, but it's true. This is what happens to people who have large-scale psychiatric problems that cannot be treated or are not treated because somebody doesn't have the money to see a psychiatrist. Now, other people can actually use being so rich they didn't know right from wrong as a legal defense. Look up affluenza.
Yeah.
And that'll fly. So we know that this kind of a problem is a problem money can solve. How can we get from a place where mental health is a luxury and seen as a luxury to some place that mental health is not only a part of our primary care, it's a part of our medical experience, but it's a commodity. That's where I want to see everyone in this country, on this planet, to be able to go somewhere and say that they have a problem and have somebody help them take care of it. Emotionally, psychologically, there are problems that we don't see. There are problems we're ashamed to admit. There are things we've gone through we can't talk to you about. Just won't do it. But that has to be taken care of. Or we're all going to suffer from it. Is it not your problem? Do you not have a problem? Well, the guy who walks into your theater with an automatic weapon might have had a problem. Somebody could have seen him coming a mile away. Did he have a place to go? Did he have something to do? We'll never know. The money's there. The money is always there. We all just have to decide to put enough pressure on the people that pull the levers to put the money where we want it to go. It's something that you're going to be pulling levers for in November. It's something you're going to be pulling levers for forever. That's what things like this are for us to get together and decide what's important. To decide that we're important enough to help each other. Everything I've talked about today has been touched on by someone else that's spoken before me. As a matter of fact, as I watched everyone speak, I thought, what am I going to talk about? Everything's been taken up to and including the destruction of the middle class. Thank you, Paula. We all know it. How to resolve it. This is the part where I give you an inspiring speech and a call to action. Your guess is as good as mine. Again, why we're here. How do we solve it? Personally, I say we tax the Forex. It's the currency transaction. It's how a currency gets traded amongst the nations. It's not the stock exchange. It's probably something you've never heard of. It handles more money than you'll ever imagine. 1% of that currency exchange in this country would eliminate all state and federal taxes, period. Income, corporate, and otherwise. That's how much money it passes through. Then everything we pay in taxes could be put directly down there. But you haven't heard about it, because nobody wants you to hear about it. The solutions are there. We just really have to put our heads together and think about them. And we have to decide that we're important enough each and every one, high and low, left and right. I'm pretty sure I'm low on time. You have gone over. Are there any questions?
You have 3 minutes.
I have 3 minutes.
Do you have 3 minutes?
You guys have 3 minutes.
There
Is
is
there
not.
anything that I can tell you about a view from the bottom, how public health care works? Because, yes, you.
What, if you don't mind me getting personal, what year were you told you were HIV positive?
I was diagnosed as HIV positive in 2009.
Okay, because my best friend was diagnosed in 2002, and he had a similar experience. He was told also that if he didn't have a job, because he had a job, that if he didn't have a job, they wouldn't have told him. Because that was their policy, to not tell people if they were positive, because if they didn't, like, he was living in California, he wasn't living here. And I was living in Omaha, we were just in different places. And they wouldn't have told him because he couldn't have gone to his insurer, like his, company insured workers, they just wouldn't have told him. He was like, it's fine.
Yeah, I've been told similar things, actually. I'm currently covered in Pennsylvania through medical assistance. It's just basically Medicaid. If I were to get a job, I would be covered under MOD, which is medical assistance for workers with disabilities. It has an income cap of $35,000.
It's actually less than Maryland, it's a lot less.
Yeah, here's the crazy thing. I'm on strike build right now. I looked that up. That is about $2,300 a month. Times 12. That's basically my income cap to buy that drug alone. So my choices are do not work just a little bit, or own a mid-sized company.
Yeah.
If I'm not starting a web development house, I'm going to be a Walmart greeter, or I'm going to do nothing. Mainly because there's no way for me to work.
We can make 1,100.
Hmm?
1,100.
Yeah, it's not a good situation. You really can feel trapped in this particular situation. You can feel trapped in this system. The more power that you have to affect your own situation, the more power you will exert to change your own situation. If you can't do it, then you won't do it. And that's the situation.
Were you given any peer resources or phone numbers or anything to help you out in 2009?
Really, no. I mean, there are a couple of things where I live. They're just not that great. I have access to a social worker. That social worker showed me the unemployment website.
Very helpful.
Absolutely, could have done it myself.
My best friend is in San Francisco, and out there they didn't have stuff to show him. And I was like, honey, you're in San Francisco. Why?
No, this is what happens. This is the Grover Norquist effect. You make government small enough so you can drown it in the bathtub. I really hope that when Grover Norquist has a goddamn stroke and he calls 911, nobody answers.
And they tell him that they put that music on and tell him.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, sorry.
But I know, because I've never been to San Francisco, and I told him, I'm like, are you seriously in San Francisco? Like, I had numbers to give because my dad works in HIV, and he was working in it in the 80s. Like, I remember almost working in it, and I was like, I shot off a bunch of numbers, and I'm like, call my dad's office if you want some phone numbers, for God's sake. Like, you're in San Francisco. This is supposed to be where everything was all like. I remember from being 5 years old and hearing about it, and hearing San Francisco. My dad went to San Francisco every month for meetings with the hospitals.
It's a funding issue. It's a funding issue, and legislatures from, state and regional, all the way up to Congress, has been cutting off funding for human services for 40 years, to my certain knowledge. Bit by bit by bit, bit by bit by
And I
bit.
told him,
And that's where
I
we
live in
are.
Omaha, Nebraska, and there's something on the side of a bus out here across the street that's like HIV funding, call, you need help. And I can look out my window and tell you the phone number. You live in San Francisco and you don't have any resources, like that's what people do.
So we have a big hand for the,